a ghost town.
On the 26th of April 1986, it was decided at Chernobyl to take advantage of reactor number 4's downtime by carrying out a safety test on an emergency core cooling feature. At 1:24 in the morning, an engineer recorded in his diary that the protective system wasn't working. At the same moment, a huge and catastrophic surge in power caused 2 explosions. As fires raged, the core of reactor number 4 was destroyed. A huge cloud rose into the sky, spreading large amounts of radioactive fuel and materials into the atmosphere.
Today's the day. It's finally here after 5 years of waiting for this.
We've been talking about this place ever since the dawn of time.
This is what we wanted to get to. This is going to be the Holy Grail, but also one of the most dangerous cities on Earth. Thought I recognized you. What's up, man?
Behind the mask?
Yeah, Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You're not gonna want to hold this one.
Drinks or whatever.
Yeah, I just carry a 50-pound weight, actually.
We store our dead bodies in there.
This is absolutely normal one. This is like normal radiation background for like a big city, 0.13. Sometimes in bigger cities like New York or wherever, Moscow, it's gonna be higher, like 0.18, 0.21. Up to 0.30 is considered as normal.
And that's not considered dangerous? Like what level
This
would
one?
be like dangerous?
0.30 is not recommended, but for me dangerous is considered over 100 point something.
Are we gonna be experiencing like around 100 at all?
I can show you a few spots.
Yes.
It's 9 a.m. with burgers. It's such an American move.
These are ass.
We have a 2-hour car ride. We're gonna be watching this documentary and doing some research, and then it'll be time.
I'm nervous.
Starting to get real.
Excited, scared.
So police officers are sitting there and they check every single person on the way in and on the way out.
Check zone number 1. Apparently we're gonna get a radiation test. I assume, never had one before, but I assume it's kind of like when you stand in the airport, you have to put your arms up and that thing goes around. It's probably gonna be some sort of like machine like that, right?
We're going to like nuclear TSA.
What he said is that you wear a radar on you the entire time, and it will detect how much radiation we got for the entire 4 days that we're here. Spending like over 100 hours here in Chernobyl, and so we're gonna know how many years worth of radiation that we just accumulated.
We've been spending the last like week researching Chernobyl and everything, and I'm genuinely kind of scared. This is gonna be very, very intense.
So this is gonna tell me like at the end like how much radiation I've picked up. Dude, that's pretty cool. I feel scared.
Misha's like, why are you guys so scared of this?
It's like you guys are the biggest bitches I've taken on tour.
Here, the most important thing that I would like to show you, that's the present day map of Ukrainian exclusion zone. Right now we're here.
Do they try to keep like visitors pretty much one way in, one way out?
Yes. Once we get to Pripyat, which is over here, we will be like 13-15 kilometers away from the Belarusian border.
Whoa.
It's a massive territory.
Whoa.
And it's enclosed with a barbed wire fence.
I've heard some random people like called stalkers like jump
People
the.
randomly enter the place. Yeah, that's true. And they are caught like every week.
Every week?
Every week.
Wow.
Really?
See all these like colors,
Yeah.
beautiful colors. It shows like the concentration of radioactive plutonium on the territory of Chernobyl exclusion zone. The half-life of plutonium is like thousands of years. And if you multiply it by 10, it's like never-ending story. So it means that territory of this 10K zone will never be available for human life again.
Ever.
Forget.
100,000 years?
millions of years now.
Millions of years, it'll still be contaminated.
Yeah, we just like killed the spot.
There's different types of radiation. This one, he says, will probably be okay to live in 300 years. Other types of radiation at this area won't be okay to live in for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. So even though parts of things are safe, other parts will just never, ever, ever be able to have life again. Anyway, what he said is we are at the southern tip, the one way in, one way out little zone, and we are about to go meet with a scientist in the city of Chernobyl. Welcome to Chernobyl!
Yeah.
We did it! We're into town!
The town is very, very old, ancient, maybe you can say. It was founded in 1193.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa! Are all these buildings completely abandoned?
No, they are inhabited nowadays by those workers who come to the town.
All the workers live right here?
During the work shift.
Some of the elderly people that once did live in Chernobyl came back, and those are the ones that are called self-settlers. We're going to be meeting with some of them on this trip as well.
Babushkas.
Babushkas!
What's up, guys? It's Sam and Colby.
Today we are here with Nate at the infamous Chernobyl.
Finally.
Holy shit, guys.
We made it.
Again, I know we said this a lot. This is the Holy Grail. As an urban explorer, all of us have been doing this since what, middle school or before.
Dude, we've been looking at Chernobyl since we were in high school.
Years of waiting going into this, all the way across the entire world in the Ukraine.
4 days in Chernobyl.
100 hours spent in the most dangerous city in the world.
Where you can get dosed for your entire life's worth of radiation in seconds if you're not careful.
So we can't go tan after this, ever.
Or
Nope.
get an x-ray.
Who needs x-rays?
Man.
But damn, I'm sad about the tanning. We realized that not every single person knows about Chernobyl,
No.
so we want to give a brief overview before we get into all the details, before you hear it from all the scientific terms that are a little bit harder to understand.
Imagine the worst nuclear reactor meltdown in the world. The reason Europe doesn't do nuclear energy right now.
It was so devastating to the entire world that they literally thought all of Europe could shut down because of it.
So what happened is just outside of Chernobyl, where we're in right now, there are these nuclear power plants. One of those was doing a test and it went wrong. The ceiling exploded off the top, emitting a lot of radiation into the air. So what that did is it blew radiation to all the surrounding cities. They didn't realize how dangerous this actually was.
A young city literally had the world's most devastating nuclear explosion of all time. It's absolutely insane. We've never done an abandoned city.
Abandoned city, abandoned nuclear power plant, abandoned transportation, it has everything.
Radioactive doggy.
What up, radioactive dog?
Aww, he is just chilling.
So we are in the town of Chernobyl and we're standing next to the main square.
This is the main square?
Nowadays, some 25% of the infrastructure of the town is still in use. You can see all these offices where people work. There's one of the local shops and so on. See the map of the exclusion zone?
Oh, wow.
It's literally pretty much the same that I showed you at the checkpoint. Do you
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
You can see the list of all those settlements over there.
All that is all the different settlements that had to be relocated?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So these settlements, they've had families there for generations.
Many generations.
Must be so heartbreaking to leave then.
Yeah, but that's life. The town itself, Chernobyl, had nothing to do with power station. The town just gave a name to the power station, that's all.
So that could have been called the Pripyat power station?
Could be, but yeah, Pripyat town just didn't exist at the time when they started to build it.
Apparently Misha used to live around here when you were, what, 5 years old? You
Yeah,
had
I
to
was
evacuate?
5 years old, yeah.
How
When
was
we
that
were relocated.
experience?
For me, as for a kid, it was a kind of adventure. I didn't realize that it was a relocation, that we're not going to come back. But for my parents, yeah, they got prepared, they realized what was happening. But for me, as for the kid, it was a kind of adventure.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, you go in a big truck, you sit in front, yeah, you're driving long distance somewhere. It was cool. But later on, when I started to grow up, I just realized what actually happened.
What actually happened?
You know?
Yeah. Did your family have to leave a lot of their stuff behind as well? Everything?
No, during relocation, people were allowed to take all the belongings with they had. So it was the difference between evacuation and relocation. When you got relocated, they provided you with trucks so you could take all your belongings. They provided you with new accommodations, everything. It was more organized than evacuation. During evacuation, they just told them 3 days and you will have a chance to return.
About what age were you when you started to realize, like, whoa, this was actually a big
I
thing?
think the age of like 15, 16, you know,
Yeah.
when we started to learn that more in details at school.
Did you ever have the urge to go near the zone and just explore it at a young age?
No, honestly saying no. Like it never appeared in my head. But the thing, why is that? Because every year, me and my family, my relatives, my parents, for example, my grandma, we used to go and visit the grave of my grandfather who was buried there. Like once a year, former inhabitants of this territory, they are allowed to come here during Memorial Days and visit like the graves, the houses where they used to live, like, and lay down flowers for their relatives and so on. My grandfather, he was one of the liquidators. Liquidator is a person who was involved in liquidating, in cleaning the area. Different kind of works, like removing soil, like cleaning like forest and so on.
And weren't they called bio-soldiers at one point?
Bio-robots,
Bio-robots.
those were the soldiers who participated in cleaning the rooftop from highly contaminated debris of the reactor.
And so how long have you been doing this? Touring and going to Chernobyl?
10 years.
10 years?
Look at me, I'm 65. Sometimes radiation has some positive effect on your body.
Yeah, 10 years of radiation and you're never scared?
No, never scared.
And just last question, what was the main thing that made you attached and made you want to dedicate your life to touring Chernobyl?
So I think my roots, it really reminds me of my childhood, how we were, where we live. Like, brings me back and pulls me back, like go, that's the thing. And every time, every day when I drive here, when I see all these pine trees, birch trees and all this nature around, like I always remember my childhood.
Oh, that's
like,
awesome.
That's super
really
cool.
takes
That's
me back.
awesome.
If the liquidators didn't do their job that quickly and like that perfectly, it could have affected not only this country, but like the entirety of Europe as a continent and probably the entire world.
And dude, it's like crazy because like a lot of them went in there knowing like, okay, this is it.
It's like I might not come out of here, but I'm doing this for the greater good.
Nobody even asked or pushed them to come. They did it on their own.
Wow.
They said, we want to go. It was a kind of like period of patriotism. Then they were like even like never mentioned anywhere in none of the books or whatever.
Wow. So many people lost their lives and didn't even get it part of a history. All of these are names of the towns that got relocated. These are towns, not individual people. Like hundreds of thousands of people ended up having to move.
Yeah, it's just nuts that like they forced you, you know, like you had no choice. Before we go to lunch, we gotta see if radioactive doggy is radioactive.
Is Radio Doctor?
Alright, radioactive Scooby-Doo.
Radioactive Scooby-Doo is more radioactive than just walking around.
He is.
17 versus 13.
Radioactive. He's like, please fuck off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's like, guys, what are you doing? We're standing in front of one of the most famous monuments. This is in dedication to the firefighters, the first people that went to the explosion at the nuclear power plant. But the sad part is that nobody told these firefighters about the radioactive danger. Basically, they went in unknowing that they were going to get lethal doses of radiation as soon as they walk in.
One of the most radioactive rooms that, well, you used to be able to go into in Chernobyl was just full of firemen's boots and clothes and the mattresses they slept on.
You know, it just makes me wonder what else like the government or higher powers of the countries around the world are hiding from the citizens.
Almost anybody who was working on this project did not know the actual level of danger they were going into.
And that's messed up.
Firefighters, people that cleaned up the mess on the rooftops, the scientists that had to work very close, the miners underneath that had to like help out. We'll get into all of this, but it's just kind of sad to me that they're like, go work for us, you have to do this, but they didn't know that they were about to die.
Thank you, firefighters.
These are the real heroes. Like,
Honestly.
the first people on the scene, and they got literally the short end of the stick.
It had to be done.
Well, and they still went in, you know what I mean? Like, so, a lot of them were unaware of how big the problem was, but the second wave of them that saw what was happening to, like, their comrades that went in, still went in. That's, like, remarkable to me.
Pretty badass. Yeah, it smells good out here.
Sunflower!
Dude,
Radioactive
Kansas.
sunflower for Kansas, dude. This used to just be a house that, regular people lived in until the accident. And these guys have turned it into a laboratory for mice. I like research about radiation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is
Whoa.
Wait, so they literally test like radioactive stuff on the mice here?
On the mice area to like learn about how it affects like animals and how it affects people and everything.
Those mice are heroes, man.
My name is Igor Chizevsky. My position now, deputy head of international project department.
If you could describe radiation.
If someone's never heard of it.
Radiation is everywhere, and we have three types: gamma radiation, alpha radiation, and beta radiation. You know?
No.
Yeah, never
No.
No.
Okay. Gamma radiation is a knife which can pass through butter. Gamma radiation can pass through everything. Alpha radiation, it's a small particle which we can protect from this gamma radiation by just paper.
Like a piece of paper would stop
piece
that
of-
type
yes,
of radiation.
So it can't go through almost anything.
Yeah, and beta radiation need a little bit more protection. For example, this wear all plastic glass, and that's all.
So gamma rays are the most dangerous?
Yes, most dangerous if gamma particle put inside your body.
And with the
Understand?
whole accident,
Yes.
that was gamma radiation
Yeah.
that exploded into the air
After explosion, you mean?
after explosion?
After explosion, it was all alpha, beta, and gamma.
Oh, it was
Oh,
all
it was
of
all
Yes,
types of
okay.
All
radiation.
types of radiation all the way around.
How does a radiation get inside of your body?
We are a live organism. We have a lot of water inside your body. This particle, like explosion, this water, and water destroyed on the
On impact.
yeah.
So the particle hits the water.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
This radiation can influence on the DNA material which is located in your cage cells.
So basically, like when a particle hits your body, it collides with the water in the body and creates like basically a subatomic like explosion. And your DNA is fine enough that it can be damaged by those particles being hit. So that's why you can't see the damage happening to you, but it has a profound effect because it's damaging microscopic.
Deep into your cells.
So speaking of the effects, like what happens if you're exposed to high gamma radiation?
You can very fast die, couple days, maybe during couple weeks. It's depend how many gamma radiation.
But if it's just a little bit, it's like nausea, like diarrhea, throwing up, all that, right? Like all those symptoms.
Sounds like a Pepto-Bismol commercial.
Your skin has a lot of blood. You cannot breathe even. Go out some food which you eat before.
Like you
this.
throw up?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And a little bit later you lose the hair.
So where does the myth of like bad genetic mutations start with radiation?
If you get radiated, could I grow a second arm type thing?
Because gamma radiation damage the cell. Next generation have mutation, and
That's
for example 5 legs or 2 head.
A third leg, maybe. No, I'm just.
How does the radiation like affect the mice?
I don't have seen the mice with 5 legs, for example. Only I couple times have seen problem with eyes. Plus a couple times I have seen on the bird the cancer.
Thank you. It's great.
Yes, thank
For
you.
my broken English.
man.
Apologize.
I'm just still like so freaked out about the radiation, the symptoms that it has on people.
Yeah, guys, I did not even realize necessarily what radiation is or how it like affects you until this trip. I mean, the way he was explaining it, it's like there's a bunch of different types.
Gamma is the absolute worst.
Gamma's the worst one. That can slice through anything, including straight through you, even if you had like lead plated on.
It's so weird too that it's like this invisible thing that you can't see, smell, feel. It's like totally beneath your perception, but it can just destroy you like that.
If in large quantities it gets inside your body, it can literally eat you from the inside out. So like your skin will deteriorate, melt off pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Because imagine like so many rays are like killing each one of your cells that basically your regular skin cells are just falling apart.
But it's on the cellular level. The atomic makeup of you just
falls apart. Just to put that in perspective of the actual explosion, only one person died from like the impact and like the building collapse.
Because most people obviously had to be far away to like protect themselves and press buttons.
Yeah, that's what scientists do. They just do this. Click, click, click. Over time, like there's estimated of up to like tens to almost 100,000s of people that have been affected in some way or another because of the radiation.
Yep.
Holy, that was a giant radioactive bee.
Holy fuck. What is this? Why am I wearing this when it's 80 degrees outside?
Because it looks sick as fuck.
Because it looks sick as fuck.
Radiated.
Yeah, I'm sweating and stuff, but I got pockets, and you can get pockets too, down below.
Guys, so we're in the middle of the town, and like we were saying earlier, this is just kind of a time capsule for the Soviet Union and the USSR, all that stuff. This is actually a monument of Lenin, who was the founder and who started everything about the Soviet Union and like communism, all that stuff.
Yeah, so basically he was kind of the ideological forefather of socialism and communism. And it was also the culture that spread from Lenin and then Stalin that made it so that the scientists were very reluctant to release the news of the disaster.
Really? It was this guy's fault?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say this guy's fault. I'm just saying like there's a domino effect.
Yeah, they were just like, so I guess proud. They didn't want to tell anybody else
they were
outside of, yeah, they were embarrassed.
It's the biggest mistake in the world.
Well, and it would have been an insult to the state too.
They say to this day that they blame the Chernobyl incident for a lot of the reason why the Soviet Union crumbled. The scientists and the people that were like commanding this entire like nuclear power plant were all hush-hush about everything that was going wrong. No one wanted to admit to even the civilians that there was like someone or something going on. The people that were in charge of safety around here didn't realize the reactor was on fire for
the
hours.
Firemen and the policemen had no idea, and they didn't tell anybody. It took the radiated cloud to get over countries and literally go to Sweden. For Sweden to call Ukraine and be like, yo, what's happening?
Let's explain that a little bit. The radiation went all the way to not one, but 2 power plants over for them to finally realize this is not our radiation, this is not normal, this is like toxic. Let's go around and call other people and figure out what is the problem.
Well, and Sweden found out because their air was becoming radiated. So like to a level that our little Geiger counter here would register as dangerous, Sweden's air was beginning to...
within 48 hours, within 36 hours.
Yes, it was so fast. Like the wind took this miles.
For the people in the exclusion zone in like Chernobyl or Pripyat, if they'd stayed for 4 days, everyone would have received a lethal dose.
And they were okay with that because they were just too embarrassed to like tell the people like, okay, we made a big mistake and we gotta figure this out.
Which is sad.
Bro, it's like imagine like stealing your mom's car and then like wrecking your mom's car.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
Your dad calls you like, yo, is something going on? You're like, no.
But what's sad is that like because they did that in that 36 hours, yeah, not that many people were affected because it wasn't lethal dose, but there was people that died from radiation poisoning, even kids, and that could have been avoided if they would have just grabbed their balls and said, you know what, there's a problem, let's get out of here.
We fucked up.
They didn't tell firefighters, a lot of the liquidators, hey, there's a lot of radiation, there's a lot of danger. They didn't tell the citizens or the commanders that there's a lot of danger. They didn't tell other countries or other parts of the world that there was danger.
Other countries told the world.
Like we said, one of the biggest problems was lack of information, especially towards the liquidators. Again, the liquidators are just people that came to clean up, to help, to basically return this town of Chernobyl back to normal.
Some being volunteers.
The point is, a lot of these people did not realize the scale of danger that they were in.
And it's the level to where they were having to go onto the roof of the reactor and shovel for only 90 seconds, or else they would have attained a lethal dose of radiation.
Even robots could not survive on that roof.
But one of Misha's friend is actually a liquidator, and he's gonna take us where he used to live in Pripyat, so let's go meet him right now and hear stories from him personally.
This is our friend.
Добрий день.
Hey!
So this is my very good friend Vladimir. He's the former inhabitant of Pripyat town.
So basically, we're about to go to the most known visual part of Chernobyl, which is
Pripyat, the biggest city. That's where like the explosion pretty much happened.
Yeah, when you see pictures of Chernobyl and like look up on Google Images, this is the picture right now. We're about to go to the most famous part. That's the power system.
Oh, what?
There it is. We're getting closer and look.
Tomorrow you will get direct.
1.1.
we're at 1.1, dude. He said
1.2
was kind of
0.3 was bad?
3 is
0.3
the
was where it
edge
started
of
to
the
get kind of
safe
dangerous.
zone.
Yeah.
And this it's at 1.1?
So now we're 3-4 times as dangerous as we should.
Misha, what does that mean? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Now we're going to drive through the so-called Red Forest area.
The Red
Forest?
Dude,
Have
that's
you ever heard about it?
got
What's
a
the Red
terrifying
Forest?
name, Red Forest.
That's one of the most contaminated parts in the exclusion zone.
Right
God,
now?
we're driving through that.
Even right now.
I'm gonna hold my breath. Wait, radiation could go inside you.
Yeah, bro, holding your breath is
We're just fucked.
After disaster, radiation spread depended on wind direction. So wind blew to the north, to the territory of Belarus, and then, like in a few days, it shifted and started to blow to the west, to the territory of that red forest. But why red forest? Because all the pine trees that used to grow to the west turned red.
Wait, all the trees actually turned red.
because of massive doses of radiation. Oh, check that out.
That's what it is. Radiation comes from the soil, it comes from the ground. And if you hold the Geiger counter on your side, you will see how high radiation levels still go. I told you that up to 0.30 that is considered as a safe level.
0.30. Right now we're at 1.3, 1.5. Oh my god, 13, 14, just right here. Oh my god, 16. Dude, it's 20. Like it just rocketed, man. Being in this forest. Like it's even in a car driving. Bro, you know what's 30?
Dude, you know what's so crazy about it too is literally no physical difference you can tell.
No,
Like,
I
you
can't
can't
tell anything without this counter.
Do you feel this metallic taste?
Oh yeah. I think I'm about to pass out right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going blind.
Oh, that's okay. That will be,
No.
you'll be fine by the morning.
Now it's already back down to 1. Like immediately, like literally only by the trees where it got soaked up was it bad, and now it's all chilling again.
And that will be like that forever.
We have to go through multiple ones of these checkpoints to get through. Like
This is like the third one.
super highly secured. Everything here is run by the government. It's very much on lockdown.
What do you need to do? You just tap on it, you press your hands on both sides, look on the screen to the right. Then when second line sparks up, it means that you are okay.
Colby, are you good?
Doesn't work?
Ah, Colby didn't get it.
This line means good, so you just walk through.
So I'm okay.
Hey!
Sounds like it explodes. Hey!
Didn't die yet.
That's good. I was like rolling around in the soil for fun.
Yeah, dude, that was really weird. They like made like a smoothie out of like the concrete minerals. It was really like weird.
We just made it to the town, Pripyat.
Where?
This is literally the main street.
Oh my god, look behind you, yeah. We're about to go to the apartment block that Vladimir lived at.
This is the main avenue, you see, of the town. That's how it looked like before the accident. Look, if you look that way, this is the road that we used to drive into the town. The entryway was just on the other side. Pretty much the trees that are like 35 years old in the exclusion zone, they look like the trees of 30 years old, but outside the exclusion zone. So that's kind of like a radiation push, you know? They become like, they grow faster. Some of them grow faster,
But some of
them stop growing.
Such a strange imbalance too. Like whereas things typically have a common rate of growth, some of them are stuck in time, and some of them have been like pushed forward.
In front of us, there was a local hotel and administration, and that's how this is pretty much the main square in front of us. There were no trees, nothing, just some roses, but that's how it all changed.
Wow.
Damn.
So like it's just taken by nature again.
It's completely covered by nature nowadays. And another picture for you, for example, the leisure house or palace of culture. Look, that's the main square. Radiation in general accelerates all the processes inside of our organisms. And those firefighters first who went to struggle against the fire, they got so much radiation inside of them that their like inner organs looked like they were like 70 or 80 years old, but in fact they were only like 30.
So just like the trees, They just immediately accelerated your body to be like an 80-year-old person at like 25 years old.
He doesn't speak English at all, but I wonder how he feels right now walking in a place that he used to, live at while he grew up here. This probably is so surreal to come to a place after a major accident like this. I wonder if it's like a sad feeling or if he just has learned to accept it over the years.
Вот здесь вот окно, вот подъезд, вот окно, да.
Перший поверх.
Да.
First floor.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's what his home.
How old were you when you used to live there?
Скільки вам років було, коли ви тут жили?
Ну, 24 на момент аварии было.
So Vladimir was like 24 years old.
Great!
What did you do in the exclusion zone? Like, what was your job?
He worked at the power station after the accident. So he used to live in the town of Pripyat.
Think about that. Like, how crazy is that he was 24 our age when the disaster happened and he had to evacuate this building.
Right there, he lived right there. I can't even imagine. I'm trying to like put ourselves in his perspective because like we're 24.
And we were in a big city. Like this, Pripyat was a big city, 50,000 people.
Vladimir was 10 years old when his family moved to Pripyat.
Yeah, describe like the lifestyle.
Lifestyle, yeah.
Like, or like
Яким було життя? Яким було життя?
Ну, тогда было очень хорошим. Просто
Very
станция
nice,
зарабатывала очень много денег и очень много тратила на вот социальные проекты.
So power station used to make a lot of money and they used to spend those money on social projects. Every year, local authorities tried to plant 5,000 bushes of roses. In total, they wanted to make 50,000.
Wow.
Just to have a bush of rose for one inhabitant of people were literally provided with everything in the town. Chernobyl Nuclear Power Station could easily provide them with 4 or 5 buses. For example, if there was a football game in Kiev, you literally just hop on the bus, they take you there, they give you a ticket, you watch football, and they bring you back.
so everything.
People were provided like literally with everything they needed, but sometimes they chose more expensive things because they could afford that. Sometimes they could take like a river, like hydrofoil on the river, because it was a way cooler, like to breathe something. Grab some beer. Yeah, Chernobyl Nuclear Power Station was the only nuclear power station in the Soviet Union.
Oh, right.
Of course.
Иностранный СЭФ.
Well, it makes sense that they would be able to provide.
It was the only nuclear power station which was selling electricity abroad.
So life was really good.
На 6
Life was
школ.
like paradise.
Да, вот
Paradise.
на 6 школ.
Taking into account that the loaf of bread cost like скільки тоді буханка хліба стоїть? 16 копійок?
16 копеек.
Wow.
16 cents.
So you guys were balling out here. Damn.
This is a rich
Это
town
хорошая.
and everything was provided. It was like a paradise. Do you like remember everything that happened on the day of the accident? Like,
Пам'ятаєте щось з дня аварії саме?
Ну,
День
как
аварії.
раз это выходной.
Yeah, it was a day off.
Это выходной,
Like,
вот
it was
на
a
субботу.
weekend.
День,
It was Saturday.
да,
yeah.
день на
Saturday.
субботу,
It was
и
the
поэтому
night of Friday and Saturday.
здесь же, ну, это было доминирующее предприятие.
So the evening before disaster happened, Vladimir was just reading a book in his apartment, and he was just expecting a rain or whatever because it was like a little like thunder and such kind of noise. His wife and him, they just went to bed. At 4 o'clock a.m. there was a lady who knocked the door and she said that he needs to appear at his working position at the power station, and she brought him also iodine tablet.
Oh no.
He used to work for the laboratory of metals, so they checked all metal which was used at the power station. In case of any emergency situation, they were obliged to go there and to check.
so he did go there that night?
She didn't tell him to go immediately. She told him that in the morning, with the first bus, with the workers, you need to appear at the power station. And during their drive to the power station, he heard that engineers were talking one between another that the reactor is gone. They told them you can start getting prepared for evacuation. His wife and son, they stayed inside the apartment. They didn't go outside.
So he had a son at 24 too, and a wife?
The son was like 1 year old.
Wow.
1 year and 1 month. He received like a special permission to bring his family to Zaporizhzhia nuclear power station. Vladimir brought his wife and his kid over there. They passed like whole body counter check. Workers told him that the kid obtained so much radiation as two annual doses of like exposure for a human being.
No.
His kid?
Oh man.
А можешь себе представить, что получили те люди, которые просто приехали, мы же без дозиметров
Yeah,
туда
and just
приехали
try
и
to
уехали.
imagine
Да.
like all those people who were walking around.
Это
the
по
town.
той дороге, где у вас
yeah, 'cause
этот
he was
прибор
inside.
кричал, да.
Yeah, because the wife and the kid, they were inside.
They're inside
and there
and
were
he
some
still
other people
got
like
that
walking
much.
outside and
И на
playing with the kids.
сегодняшний день вы видите дозовую нагрузку в миллион раз меньше, чем 86 год.
Yeah, and nowadays the radiation levels in the exclusion zone are more or less 1 million times lower. than
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
here in
definitely.
1986.
And just again to like let you guys know, the younger kids were way more susceptible to the radiation than like the adults. Could he describe like how he was like feeling on like the emotions of that night?
Як ви почували себе? Які емоції вас переповнювали в той день?
Ты просто, ну как, это шок.
You can't do anything, like
Ты
literally.
просто переживаешь за близких,
You just worry about your relatives.
потому что работники станции, они четко понимали, им надо идти и работать.
Because like the workers of the power station, they clearly realized that they needed to go and do their job.
Once he knew, did that make him scared?
Це вас налякало якось чи ні?
Ну, мы-то понимали, какая опасность.
There was no panic.
Чтобы вот паника. Но это от незнания ситуации.
Because
That's bravery right
Да.
there.
Because they just didn't realize the seriousness of the situation.
Никто же не показал, не было никаких датчиков, которые могли 35 лет назад, не было ничего, чтобы в онлайне могло показать. Как сейчас это можно сделать. Раньше
They had
этого
no
ничего.
devices.
На
How you could check the radiation,
значит,
like,
дозиметрический контроль, который вот мы проходим.
readings. They didn't have like these devices
на
like in the
станции.
day. They had those Geiger counters. The maximum level there was like of 50 Roentgens back in the days. But when they were looking in them, there was nothing that they could see. So it meant that it was off the scale.
Wow. So people thought these like little machines were malfunctioning because it was so much radiation that they stopped working. It would show nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were off the scale.
Wow.
Off the
Well, so it made it impossible for people to understand the scale of the problem that was happening. You literally had to be zoomed out from the problem in order to begin to understand the magnitude of
What does it mean, 50 Roentgens?
I was gonna say, what was that
Nowadays,
comparatively
look,
to
give
what
me-
we just
give
saw?
me- Give me the Geiger counter. Look, nowadays I told you that the safe radiation on the ground is considered like 0.30 microsieverts an hour, or like 30 micro Roentgens an hour. So like
Micro.
1 sievert is 100 Roentgens. Okay, so 1 micro sievert is 100 micro Roentgens. So 50 Roentgens, it is 50 million micro Roentgens.
50 million.
Oh my goodness, dude.
And the safe is considered as 30 micro Roentgens.
Holy cow.
So
Do you realize?
that's like billion times the the danger zone. Of what? That's like hard to even comprehend.
именно-
Were they forced to go back or did they choose to?
Вас хтось заставляв, чи ви самі їхали?
Наоборот, это самое, вот у меня комсомольская молодежная бригада.
So nobody pushed them. They perfectly realized that there was like that there were
And there was
dangerous
danger.
conditions and
Примерно
whatever, but
5% персонала просто не приехало.
yeah, like 90%
Но они просто не
of staff,
приехали, да.
they returned to the power station for work to do their job.
Они эвакуировались
5%
и нашли себя
just
в
never
других там,
returned.
да, этих самых. да.
Like
They just
only
left.
5%.
Да.
Yeah.
А из тех, которых
speaks volumes
призывали
for
вот
that
как в
community.
армию,
It really does. How does he feel now after all these years coming back and seeing places like his old apartment?
поэтому вот маму сюда было не завести.
So
Жизнь
for him
поломалась.
personally, it's more like professional thing nowadays. But for example, for his mom or for his classmates who graduated from the school at this town, who fell in love here for the first time, who gave a birth for kids here and so on, for them it's a heartbreaking. For example, his mom, she never came back. She
Oh,
said like,
man.
if I come back, my heart will just like stop,
Ну,
and, like I will not be able like,
В том
to do.
месте, где тебе хорошо, а потом ты оттуда вынужденно уехал, тебя
So
никто...
he still didn't adjust to live in Kiev, for example.
Yeah.
He was pushed to leave, but yeah, all the time you have like a feeling like
It's not home.
it's not home.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like professional for you guys, but like when you first moved or saw it for the first time coming back, was it like a pretty emotional thing?
В перший раз, коли вернулися, після того, як евакуацію провели, було емоційно?
Да.
Yeah, it was really emotional.
когда вот после ноября...
But in first year, in 1986, when people had the chance to come back here, because they had the chance to come back here. And
Милиция ходила по квартирам, вытягивала этих
belongings
жителей.
from the apartments. When he returned, it was in November 1986. It was really emotional. He said that there were many people like crying, trying to take their personal belongings. He didn't take anything pretty much because they had a small kid.
How about you? Did that, like, the first time you came back, was it like sad? Or not that bad?
To my settlement? Yeah, it was really sad. From what I remember, I returned for the first time when I was maybe 12 years old.
Может быть,
But it was sad for me because I remember the place. But I remember the place when it was nice, when we were playing outside, when it was like a happy life, you know, everything. And then I returned for the first time. The only thing I remember, there was just the remain of the fence and one of the walls from the house.
Of your house? And it got just destroyed?
And the rest was just destroyed and like...
No.
That is so sad.
In total, roughly like 50,000 people inhabited here. 10 or 11,000 among them were kids. I mean, like small kids and up to like 16,
that's
17, like 18 years. Like
Yeah.
not adults, but
minors.
10, 11,000 kids.
Why did he return?
Because it was his job.
Still now today?
Like still nowadays, he doesn't work for the power station, but he works in the exclusion zone.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, all these people, they can't
Loyal.
nowadays imagine their life without this territory. That's the same story for me, believe me.
Passion.
I will never love like to leave this place anymore.
Yeah.
10 years I'm already here, and believe me, all my life now I see like working here and showing people around and explaining them, like the moral side of this catastrophe is even more sad than radiation effects, because many families like got destroyed. They're like
А антидепрессантов, кроме водки, никаких.
antidepressants. People got so
Antidepressants?
depressed because of everything that happened here.
I mean, it was like the echo of the explosion, but in the people.
Hearing it from a person that actually lived to it during our age, like he is 24.
And a girlfriend, a kid, like imagine just, I wonder how different this place looked. But the best part of that interview is that when shit hit the fan, he was still courageous enough to be like, I have to do something about it.
And dude, and like the thing that blew my mind was it wasn't even like I have to save my family or I have to serve my country. It was, I'm just doing my job. There's no pride, there's no ego, it's just, this is what I have to do and I'm doing it. Like that hits me like right in the heart.
He did it for his country, for his life.
Dude, I have like so much respect for this guy.
He was talking about like, if you're not smart about nuclear
Fight over money, that's cool. But when you fight over weapons, you destroy a lot more.
Yeah.
And if this mistake happens again,
It's over.
it's over.
This used to be a main square, a main town square.
Like the center of the town, like bustling with life was here, and now it's bustling with a different kind of life. This sort of post-apocalyptic Garden of Eden we're in.
Oh my god, look at that hotel. This is the main square? Oh, this is where the 50,000 roses would be? This whole town square.
If you look at this picture, that's how this square looked like back in the days. Look.
Oh my gosh.
You see?
Oh, wow.
No trees. You see, that's how it looked like. With all those portraits of communist party leaders and different kind of communistic propaganda. They literally thought that it would be possible for people to come back.
Wow.
So they started like decontamination of the town.
What are we at right now?
What do we have right
Like
now?
1.2.
Yeah, the
1.3.
average radiation levels in the town are like 1 point something. But there are also many hotspots here. Taken into account that they washed town like 3 times, it didn't help that much.
Huge recreation center. Wow.
Bro, take like 10 other explore locations and put them all in one place.
All in one
And
place,
that's
the
where we're
entire
at.
city.
City, yeah.
Oh my god, look at this.
Dude, I'm trying to imagine like the people here. Like imagine Vladimir and his girl and his kid
Yeah.
before this happened, just like strolling right there.
As
Such a happy,
24-year-old,
peaceful
like our
place.
age, just walking around.
Yeah. You know, he's got his kid on his arm.
Yeah.
I think this is what it used to be.
Oh my god.
And then the brick is inside, decomposing. Radioactive titties. Damn, dude. Oh my god! That's creepy! The eyes are freaking white.
Who would do that?
Radioactive baby? Is it a radioactive baby? This was like a old hotel lobby right there.
Wow.
Dang. That's a tall one. Nate just pointed this out, but the top of this structure, I can't read what that sign says, but it has a giant contamination. So Misha was just saying that this specific town was allowed to have military training, so all these buildings and windows and signs have bullet holes in them. Just kind of depressing.
They don't even care about the radiation?
Yeah,
It's
imagine like
badass.
just doing your training in a giant radiated city.
Dude, that's like playing Fallout 3
Wait,
in
that
real
like
life.
it is. And this is only 2 years ago that this happened. So definitely all those guys were like, I'm in an actual Call of Duty game or
Oh,
something.
dude, yeah, I bet. And I bet like some of them like played Fallout. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
for
Like in their free time.
Oh no, man, I feel like we are in a video game. Colby is the safety specialist of Chernobyl.
Here's Colby with what to and what not to lick in Chernobyl. He's gonna tell us, Colby, what about this bush right here?
Can you lick that bush?
You can lick this bush. Yeah, you can lick the bush.
You want to lick a different
Bush?
He was just saying that this restaurant right here was built at the end of March of 1986, and guys, the blast was in April. So this restaurant was only open for a few weeks. Dude. It hardly got used at all.
And they had bars here and stuff. I'm just trying to imagine if us three were like living in this time as 24-year-olds. Ukrainian women, we've been talking about this, they're the most beautiful in the entire world.
Yeah, so if you're a Ukrainian woman and you're watching this, thank you.
Official date that the city was built was 1979. The accident being at 1986, that means this entire city was only 7 years old. Young city that was super nicely put together, super rich, beautiful paradise. Boom, only has 7 years to live.
It's crazy that it happened to like such a good place too.
Right, you know,
You know,
not like a
that-
torn down thing, like this was like new, pristine.
Paradise.
It's like a too good for this world sort of thing.
And right over here, guys, is their supermarket. Oh my God, you can even see the carts being used. What? The signs of the different types of like food, and then right over there is checkout.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
All the shopping carts. Like imagine if this was your local Target right now, you know?
Even if they sold White Claws? There has to be like a group of kids that were all just like chilling, drinking a shot, and then heard a boom. And we're like, what was that?
Too.
Whatever.
It just shows
Have another, bro.
Isn't that crazy?
just shows that normal life is going on, and then everything changes.
Just like that, dude.
Look at this. I think is this a fire hose? No way. Is this and that one too, right there.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he just said they were like washing the city. I wonder if they just left all
Yeah,
that.
this is probably like an after blast firefighter. Still, it just got left here. Like as soon as they were done decontaminating it, they just dropped it and ran. Can we eat those berries, Mr. Captain Colby?
Yeah, I think you can eat these.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna
You
trust.
don't want to
Mr.
touch my berries?
I don't think I'm gonna touch his berries, dude.
Now or
Because that guy.
Oh fuck, that scared me, dude. That seriously scared me.
He's a stalker.
your name? No English. Pripyat. Oh dang.
It's all good.
That was cool.
Think he's just camping here? He's got camping gear on.
Dude, he kind of looks like he might be one of the infiltrators that Alex was telling us about in the tunnel video.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Explore Club's super rad. I've gotten a chance to film a couple of the Explore Club videos with these boys and can honestly tell you, they are hella interesting. And you'll be able to find out how radioactive my deck is.
Only on Explore Club.
Guys, for real though, if you want to join Explore Club, you gotta do it. We've been posting every single day, exclusive content all the time, and all the cool kids are doing it, so go down below.
Let yourself be peer pressured into this
Yes,
one.
peer
Link
pressure.
it by-
Honestly, because the Europe content we have gotten for Explore Club is some of the most top-notch ever.
Yeah.
Also, I just started posting there, so you'll get some like exclusive Nate content that is kind of super unique. I won't really post it anywhere else. So-
Welcome to the club, Nate.
Yes.
Dude, thank you, brothers.
Oh, Radio Dog!
Oh, is he missing an eyeball? Oh, he's missing an eye. Or no, he's just blind in it.
He's just closing down. It's shut down.
Is this just shut up?
Oh, you gotta click the
Look at that.
Radio Doggy.
It's like
Oh no. Run away from Radio Doggy!
Wait, real stuff though, dude. He's wandering around a place with a lot of hot zones.
I'm gonna give him a hug. Do you think that's gonna?
I don't know if that's a good. I don't know if that's a
you
good
want, like, a
idea.
hair of the Radio Doggy on you.
Radio Doggy loves me, and I don't care. I will get thyroid cancer for Radio Doggy.
Oh,
Went up to
dude.
0.7 when I started touching him.
The accident happened at nighttime, 1 hour 24 minutes. What do you do at 1 hour 24 minutes?
Sleeping or?
You are sleeping. So you don't hear much of the noise. Even if tanks start to drive around, you will not hear that much.
So basically, no one knew what was going on.
No, not many people heard the noise. Some heard. Power plant used to make such kind of noise pretty frequently.
Interesting.
Then,
That was normal.
next day in the morning, there was no information about anything. Just a little bit later on the day, some workers from the power station, they've started to hear the information that the reactor got destroyed, but they said, no, that's not possible. People couldn't believe that the reactor exploded.
Oh, yeah,
People are stubborn.
That's
just
for workers, especially for engineers, it's something can't happen. Because they were taught that according to the safety rules, reactors are non-explosive facilities and objects.
And that's why everybody we've talked to today is like, we don't know everything, guys. Do your research on nuclear.
Seriously.
Yeah, over 1,200 buses were called to come. Wow. The line of the buses stretched for almost 12 kilometers, pretty much from the town of Chernobyl and all the way down to Pripyat.
And were people evacuated
Next day.
the next, and it was during the day?
Yeah, no, during the night. Preparations were pretty much done during the night.
Seriously.
But it took a full 24 hours or 36 hours to
36 hours pretty much, yeah.
36 hours to get people
Within
out.
36 hours in the town, having pretty much no much information about
And they all thought oh, I'll be back soon.
Dude, I mean, you can just imagine all those buses coming through, and the steam coming out of the exhaust pipe, people bustling, getting in, being here brings that kind of intensity alive.
So there was a message released on local radio. People were given 2 hours to take only the most important things, and they were told that they would be taken away for 3 days.
That's it. Only
That's
3
it.
days.
Did we even know enough about radiation back then
No.
to comprehend the scale? Yeah, so we've just comprehended the scale recently.
Yeah.
That's great. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then within 3.5 hours, 45,000 people were just evacuated from.
Wow.
And 5,000 people, workers of the power station, they stayed here. Their duty was just this day, this evening, for example, or tomorrow morning to go to the power station and to start
That was
their
just
job.
just
to
their
do
job.
Their job, yeah.
Just
That's
their
all.
job.
I told you about some of the hotspots.
Yeah.
And one of them is just over there near that piece of metal flying.
Over here?
Right there. So right now, it's at 0.72 micro.
Yeah.
Handle, yeah.
Go down.
Oh, it's clicking. You can hear it. Oh my gosh.
Shit.
Closer.
Closer!
Right next to it, but not on it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude. That's as high as the red phone. Oh my
50.
gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit, it hit 50.
Dang.
Nate, lick it.
Dude. No way. There it is.
I've ever seen.
This is the famous Ferris wheel. Oh my god. I swear I've been looking at this picture of that for 5 years, dude.
Wow.
That's another thing. The last Ferris wheel in Six Flags, bro. I just feel they make the most epic.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And the bumper cars to the left?
Oh shit, wait, let's see that shit. Oh my god.
Dude. This would be an awesome place to go hang out.
Oh, it's a weird combination of super happy but also so sad. Wow.
Whoa, dude, see, this was the stand where the person would start it and stop it.
And then this.
You'd probably sit there and be like, God, I work at a bumper car ride.
The amount of life and happiness for the 7 years.
Right?
And then straight to nothing.
Oh my god, and I would wreck every single kid here in bumper cars if it was still around.
You think so? Stop it! Stop it!
What do you think this is?
Dude, I don't know.
That almost looks like it could be a weird
Oh,
swing or-
that's definitely they had the swing
So this
down.
was a big amusement park. They had swings, bumper cars.
There's a merry-go-round.
Mary, oh wow!
Oh shit.
Wow!
I was always afraid of these things when I was little. They go in circles fast.
Dude, this is beautiful.
This is it.
Oh my God.
We made it.
The famous Ferris wheel. I have a weird sense of like fulfillment. Yeah, when we first started exploring, this was at every top of the list of like what you need to hit. It like almost like inspired us to like do more and go bigger. And like when we started 25 by 25, this was like the #1 thing on my list. You have to do Chernobyl no matter what. Did it before 25. That, I don't know, makes me really happy. I literally never thought we'd ever be here.
I didn't think this was possible, but this is only day 1. We gotta remember that.
1, we're here for 4.
4 days, 100 hours in Chernobyl. We're gonna try to give you the best experience of Chernobyl here on YouTube, so I hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you are, the best way you can let us know is by leaving a like on this right now. If this gets 300K likes, I'm gonna bring Radioactive Doggy home with me. I don't know.
There's only 2 level 7 nuclear disasters to ever happen. Chernobyl's the most famous. If this video does well and everyone likes it and it gets 300,000 likes, we could go to the other nuclear disaster in the world.
Where is that?
It's in Japan.
In Japan? Oh, we have to. Guys, if you want to see us go to another nuclear place, 300K likes, we will do this. And also, while you're at it, go down below and click that big old fat subscribe. Then spank that bell button to turn on notifications.
Tomorrow, we are actually going to be able to see the reactor, talk to a scientist and engineer that knows exactly why the reactor blew off. We'll be able to see all the aftermath, what happened.
Curfew is at 8 p.m. here, so we don't have much time left.
Out of all the 25 by 25 things, this was by far my #1 thing I wanted to do. I truly didn't know if we were ever going to be able to do it. And we did it.
We did it, man.
We made it, Chernobyl!